is Tristan with Nerdouts Newsstand, and today we are going to be talking sales, everybody's favorite subject. This is actually a pretty big deal. It only happens one time a year. It is actual sales to stores like Amazon's or your local Barnes & Noble, and it is from the NPD book scan. So these are real sales, the most accurate that you can get, even more so than stuff like ICV2 and Comicron, which does a fantastic job. I'm not trying to take away anything that they do, but a lot of those are estimated on Batman selling 100,000 units. So sometimes those are a little off, give and take a couple thousand. These, however, are not. We're going to be talking about Brian Hibbs, and I will be putting this link so you can see all of my sources down below in the pinned comment. But if you're new to this channel, make sure you hit subscribe. This video will get no subscribers because it's super boring. And leave me a comment down below. We will go over this in further detail when it comes to my live stream Tuesday at 11 a.m. I want to go into some of the nuances of what is said within this. It is a huge report that takes months to get done. So it is going to take some time to get through. So I am going to just hone in on a couple parts that I see kind of falsely fabricated within the comic fandom community. And that is going all the way back to comics versus manga. Mind you, I want to preface this by saying a couple things. Most people, a lot of people that enjoy one, enjoy the other. A lot of people that are interested in one are interested in another. So there is no reason to really have to compare this, but there is, of course, that narrative that, oh my God, comics are dead. Oh my God, manga is winning. Which, of course, by the end of this video, and if you click the link below, you will see that that is completely, again, fabricated. So let's take a look, and we are going to bring up Western comic sales. So, of course, your big two, your indies, your Something is Killing the Children, your Batman, your Superman, and your Spider-Man. All of which, this is only the top 750 titles. Now, there is a lot more than that. Just for the big two alone, you're looking at something around the about 9,000. So we're talking a very small amount here. But what I want to point out is the calculated retail value number that we're looking at. This is how much was made off of these books, and this is how much they've grown right next to it, right? So we've got $443 million as compared. 2020 is not really fair, really. It wasn't good, even though it did better than 2019. So honestly, the last two previous years combined, we're looking at what was made this year. There was a massive increase, and it is doing extremely well. A lot of that is not only thanks to the big two, but there was some big blow-ups that came from the indie side. You've got Something is Killing the Children doing so well. You've also got books like Stray Dogs or Department of Truth. All of these books regularly are in the top spots as far as comics books goes, graphic novel goes, omnibuses and compendium goes. So you have a lot of help this year from great indie titles by people like James Tynion. So I love the indies. I think everybody should be reading them, but I digress. Let's take a look and put that up against, put it up against manga. And here's where you're gonna get some people upset. Manga, for the top 750, made less than half domestically than what we have for comic books. Now, I am going to include the entirety of manga to make it a little bit more fair and even the playing ground. But yes, you're looking at $218 million brought in here in the US. And that's honestly, there's nothing wrong with that, right? So if we actually make the playing ground here, we'll call it, a little bit more fair, you include everything here, right? You include all of the manga that were sold through books, again, like Amazon, like Barnes & Nobles, anything that uses an NPD book scan, you are getting $396.2 million, right? Still trailing behind Western comics. So how does this narrative perpetuate? Is where I really want to pass the question off to you. Why is such a blatantly false narrative constantly thrown around, and what sort of adoption of this is being done to either push a narrative or if it's genuinely not knowing what is actually going on? Now, I do think maybe the rise that we saw from manga this year, which was substantial, and I mean, blew, as far as the rise, blew anything else out of the water. You're looking at about a 280% increase in manga this year alone. If that happens for another 2 to 3 years, probably by 2025, if it stays on that track, maybe 2024 if you're lucky, it would overtake manga or comics. It absolutely would. But that's a huge increase. That doesn't happen very often. There was a bunch of big whales within that ocean this year, including that huge book from Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man. There was a lot of really big hits this year. So it's unlikely that that will happen anytime soon. I would wager a guess that it probably will stay very similar, stay competitive, but still trailing slowly behind comic books, right? And that's because, let's be real, American comic books sell better in America. Duh. Like, that's a pretty obvious thing here. But I am curious to see what you guys think about these numbers. I think you should check out the website if you want to make sure and do your own homework and be able to go through all of the information. Like I said, a lot of work goes into this. But I definitely think that as of right now, the narrative's kind of fucked, right? Until, maybe next year at this point we see different numbers. There's nothing of objective truth to go off of to claim otherwise. So let me know, of course, what you guys think about this. Like I said, we will probably talk more about this on my live stream, and I'll have on just some guy, and then finish it up on Tuesday at 11, and that should be super fun. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.